R&D tax relief is an incentive issued by the government to reward certain types of technological and scientific activities. The government requires that the assessment of which projects and what activities upon those projects qualify as R&D for the purpose of the relief is undertaken by the company's competent professionals. Competent professionals in this context means those individuals who are close to the project and understand the technological details. You have been identified by your business as one of the competent professionals. The overall costs of your business's projects are already imported into the system by your finance team, and we will guide you as the competent professional through assessing which of them will qualify. At the top of the screen, you will see a progress bar. This shows all actions, indicating what has been completed, how far you've progressed through completing the claim, and what your remaining actions are. Although we recommend working through the process sequentially, you can click on the headings at any point to navigate to the different sections. It is important to remember that these are just your actions, and other users for your company will have their own logins and individually customized workflows. You will have two key responsibilities. Firstly, you will need to assess which of the costs imported by your finance team qualify as R&D for tax purposes. Secondly, you will need to enter some supporting technical information to map the projects to the R&D guidelines. This short briefing video will let you know everything required to undertake these activities, but if you have any questions at any point, then please do not hesitate to get in touch. The types of projects which qualify as R&D for tax purposes have been specifically defined by the UK Department for Business, Energy and Industrial Strategy. This briefing will help you determine which projects are eligible and what costs qualify. The definition of R&D has two key criteria. Firstly, the project must seek to achieve an advance of science or technology. Secondly, the team must seek to overcome scientific or technological uncertainty in achieving the advance. An example of a technological advance could be developing or appreciably improving an existing system, process, material, device, product or service. The key point is it needs to involve moving forwards from the existing baseline of science or technology at an industry level. So deploying a known solution or configuring a technology according to known principles would not qualify. However, if one of your competitors has achieved an advance which you are seeking, but they have not released details into the public domain, or you progressed without any knowledge of their activities, then the work you have undertaken can still qualify as R&D for tax purposes. It is, however, only the attempt to achieve a technological advance which is important, so if a project is cancelled, or does not continue for any reason, then the costs incurred can still qualify. The technological uncertainty refers to a scenario where an experienced professional cannot easily deduce a solution using existing knowledge or information that is readily available in the public domain. So it could be that you don't know whether it is even possible to achieve the advance being sought, or that you don't know what the best way would be in practice to achieve the advance being sought. Once you have identified the project advance and uncertainty, it is time to think about which costs are included within the claim. The scope of a project for R&D purposes is most likely to be different to the scope of the project for your business purposes. In R&D terms, a project starts when work to resolve the uncertainty commences. This is when you have identified that the technical issues that need to be resolved that cannot be resolved by off-the-shelf information alone. An R&D project ends when the uncertainty is resolved or work to resolve it ceases. This is when you have a working prototype or your technology goes into production, or if you decide not to take the project forward. If any new technological uncertainties arise after the product has been put into production or into use, then the R&D process may start again. However, there is a strong distinction between problems involving scientific and technological uncertainties and more routine maintenance. As an example, software development projects that seek to create new systems, architectures, rewrite complex underlying data access layers, or those that appreciably improve underlying algorithms within a code base of a system where there was no standard solution, would typically be seen as seeking a technological advance. However, projects concerning the configuration of off-the-shelf solutions according to known principles, or projects that seek to improve the look and feel of user interfaces, would not typically be seen as seeking a technological advance. There are many forms of technological uncertainty that occur on a software development project. For example, it may be uncertain whether or not it is even possible to achieve the non-functional requirements of the project, such as the performance and scalability. There may be a number of different potential technological options, such as architecture patterns, software languages, and design principles, and it may be uncertain which, if any, of options would be most suitable to achieve the solution. Alternatively, there may be systems uncertainty, whereas it's uncertain how various APIs, frameworks, legacy packages can be integrated to form the new solution. As we have already mentioned, all costs required to overcome technological uncertainty can be included, even if the costs were routine activities. The start of a software development project may involve a business analyst identifying the requirements for the technology. This would be seen as identifying a business problem, rather than working to resolve uncertainty, and it would typically be excluded from the claim. As soon as someone works to design the solution, and thus commences work to overcome technological uncertainty, then the R&D claim period would start. The qualifying activities on a software project would typically include architecture, development, project management, testing, setup of development and test environments, where these are required to overcome and verify that the technological uncertainty has been resolved. Line management, production support, routine bug fixes, user documentation are examples of activities which are typically seen as not contributing to overcoming technological uncertainty and should be excluded from the claim.